What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the Sports Doc Spock, coming at you with another video. The guy you see right there, that is Dutch Mantel. You guys might know him because he used to manage Jack Swagger. I forgot what his Uncle Jebediah at one time, and he's played a few characters in the WWE. But older wrestling fans know him as Dirty Dutch Mantel, and he has a very interesting story to tell about a apparent mean streak by Jerry the King Lawler. See, you guys might know Jerry the King Lawler as a jokester, but back in the day, I guess he was a little bit meaner. Or you could see it in this wrestling character. He wasn't as nice or as funny as he was as you see him on WWE Raw just a few years after this. So let's go to the story. Go ahead, Dutch.
Now, Lawler has a habit, apparently, because I spoke with Steve Kern recently, and in his book, The Chronicles of Steve Kern, I think so. Where is it? I've actually got it here. I've lost it. Anyway, he's got a book out, Steve Kern, search for it. And he says that Lawler once offered him $1,000 to break Chick Donovan's leg in a match.
Damn.
Because I believe Chick Donovan had been eyeing
Fair
up one of
use.
the ladies that Lawler was interested in. And apparently that was sufficient enough to pay $1,000 to have a leg broken. Is that the full story, or tell us the story again?
I do remember the story that was circulating back then. Of course, when I hear it, I'm hearing it at least third hand or fourth hand. I never went to Steve and I said, "Did Lawler ask you to break Chick's leg?" And I don't know how Chick Donovan didn't hear it. There was only like 14 of us there, so somebody told him. But yeah, I think it's true. I really do think it's true. But Steve, they were making big money. I don't know what $1,000 would do, and I don't think if he needed the money, I don't think he'd have done that either.
I don't think so either, because they pretty much take oaths. These guys know that this is the other guy's livelihood as well as their own. So for the most part, they won't purposely injure anybody seriously. Now they will shoot each other in the ring sometimes. Shoot, not bang bang, but they might hit each other kind of hard. They call it potatoing. I hit you, hit me too hard, I hit you back. He explained a little bit more about this as the video goes on. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
Because that's really cold to go in there, and nothing's worse is when you go into a ring with another guy, it's an unwritten allegiance between two guys that, listen, I'm going to work, you work, don't hurt me, and I won't hurt you. See, it's like a doctor's oath, do no harm. Is that if somebody's not expecting it, what kind of an asshole does it make me that if you're expecting a working punch and all of a sudden you get a straight shot in the nose and the mouth? And I've gotten something like that, and I said, okay. But usually when that happens, the guy said, I'm sorry. I've even had guys, all right, get me back. But I would never hit them back if they said I'm sorry, because it was a mistake. So now I'm asking for more trouble if I punch the guy, and it's maybe a little harder than what he hit me. He said, "Oh, wait a minute, I didn't hit you that hard." No, but if you do that on purpose, you become an asshole. And I think if Steve had done something to Chick, I don't think that would have set well with Steve. And it didn't set well with me either. But hey, I got through 30 years in the wrestling business by staying in my own lane and not involving myself into things that I'm not involved in. So I just stayed away from it.
Well, Steve Kern didn't go through with it for the reasons that you said. It's the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm. How many times did Lawler take hits out on other wrestlers? Or is this the only one that you heard of?
That's the only one I heard of. But there is a story going around, and Jimmy Hart, it happened to Jimmy Hart. And Jimmy Hart denies it now, but he's still doing business with Lawler, so he's going to downplay it. But Lawler broke his leg playing football, and then Jimmy Hart went out on TV, and Lawler is watching live Memphis TV from his house, which is about 5 miles away from the TV studio, I guess. Memphis not that big. But and Jimmy went out there, and he says, well, he's dumping Lawler, and he says, hey, when a horse breaks their leg or something like that, hell, you shoot horses, don't you? So what he was saying was he's dumping Lawler. Lawler never forgot it.
Mm.
So when they came back and had the first, like, they started an angle with one of Hart's guys, Lawler broke Jimmy Hart's jaw.
Goddamn! Broke his jaw? Now, everybody knows how small Jimmy Hart is. So it might be kind of easy to break Jimmy. You still have to hit him with some force to break his jaw, though. Okay, I mean, Lawler is a much bigger guy, but he ain't that big than Jimmy Hart. Damn, he broke his jaw? What kind of shit? What's going on, Dutch? Tell me, man.
And saying, if somebody asked me, and I would tell Lawler this, Lawler is an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So he is very, very
Beautiful artwork.
infinite with punches. Because he threw great punches. But he never tagged me on one, never. So to break a guy's jaw, you got to be throwing it with that intent.
They've wrestled many times as well.
And he broke his jaw. Lawler denies it. Jimmy Hart denies it. And I love Jimmy, and I hate he got his jaw broke. But the only thing, and I've said this to around a lot of people, I don't know if Lawler ever heard it. He's going to hear it now. But I think Lawler intended to do some damage. I don't know if he intended to break the jaw. But, you know, it's hard to break somebody's jaw in a street fight. And Jimmy just held just right there for him. How?
See, I don't know about that, Dutch, because there's a huge size advantage. Lawler goes about 230 and is around 6 feet tall, 5'10", 5'11". Jimmy Hart, if he weighs 140 pounds, he gained a lot of weight. Jimmy Hart is a small guy. He's probably around 5'6" or 7". So it might not be that hard for Jerry Lawler to break his jaw. But go ahead, Dutch. Talk your shit, bro.
And he got him. That's an old story, but I think Jerry was making a statement.
By the statement, I'll add this very briefly. He has admitted on camera that he intentionally broke Paul Heyman's jaw when they booked a load of scaffold matches involving Heyman, and then come the day, Heyman says, I'm not going up there, I'm scared of heights. So the next time that Lawler got Heyman somewhere around ringside, he just snuck up and broke his jaw as well.
Wow.
Well, Paul agreed to do the scaffold matches. Was that what it was?
Apparently, he never brought up any objections until the day of.
All of a sudden, he ain't want to do it. So, yeah, everybody, go ahead and check out Dutch Man. It's called Story Time with Dutch Mantel for all you wrestling fans and old school wrestling fans who are fans of Dirty Dutch. Has a very good podcast. I suggest you guys check it out. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. This is your boy, the Sports Dr. Spock, Mickey Coleman. Join me and Mike Love tomorrow on the Mickey Coleman Mike Love podcast. I believe we will have Noel Smith, and we'll be talking about Saturday night's main event. Until then, take care of yourselves.